The universe isn't just described by mathematics. The universe is mathematics computing itself into existence. Every physical process is a calculation. Every quantum event is a computational step. Reality is not running on some cosmic computer. Reality is the computer. The universe is computing its own existence moment by moment. And quantum mechanics proves this is not metaphor but literal physical fact. Let me show you why the universe is fundamentally computational and what that reveals about the nature of existence itself. Physics describes reality using mathematics. We write equations, solve them, make predictions. This seems like we're using math to model a physical reality that exists independently. The universe is out there being physical. We describe it mathematically. The math is our tool. The physics is the reality. But this separation between mathematics and physics breaks down at the quantum level. Quantum mechanics isn't just mathematical description of physical reality. Quantum mechanics is the reality. The wave function isn't describing something physical. The wave function is the physical thing. And the wave function is pure mathematics, complex amplitudes assigned to configuration space. Physical objects don't exist independently of their mathematical description. Physical objects are mathematical structures. An electron is not a thing that happens to obey mathematical laws. An electron is a mathematical structure, a complex valued function over spacetime satisfying the Dirac equation. The mathematics isn't describing the electron. The mathematics is the electron. This is profound shift. Physics is not using math to describe non-mathematical reality. Physics is discovering that reality at fundamental level is mathematical. The universe isn't made of stuff that follows mathematical laws. The universe is made of mathematics itself. Physical existence is mathematical existence. Now add computation. Mathematics can be interpreted as computation. Any mathematical structure can be viewed as computational process. The Schrödinger equation describing quantum evolution is a computation transforming initial state into evolved state. The quantum state itself is information. Evolution is information processing. Reality is computation. This isn't analogy. Information is physical. Landauer's principle proves erasing one bit of information requires minimum energy of kT/ln2. Information has thermodynamic cost. Information is physical quantity with energy implications. The universe processing information is the universe doing physics. Quantum mechanics makes this even more direct. The quantum state is literally information, probability amplitudes for measurement outcomes. Unitary evolution is information-preserving transformation. Measurement is information extraction. The entire quantum mechanical description is computational and informational from ground up. The universe contains approximately 10 circumflex 90 bits of information based on entropy calculations. This information is constantly being processed through quantum evolution. Every interaction is computational step transforming quantum states. Every measurement collapses superposition, extracting information. The universe is massive quantum computer computing its own state evolution. But it's more radical than universe running computation. The universe is the computation. There's no physical substrate separate from computational process. The quantum state is both the data and the physical reality. Evolution of quantum state is both computation and physical change. They're identical. Physics is computation. This solves the mystery of why mathematics describes physics so perfectly. It's not miraculous that math works. Math works because physics is math. The unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in physics, as Wigner called it, is not unreasonable. Physics is mathematical because reality is mathematical structure computing its own evolution. Now let me make this precise with quantum field theory. Every particle is excitation of quantum field. Fields are mathematical structures, operators on Hilbert space, functionals over spacetime. The field configuration is information. Changes in field configuration are information processing. Particle interactions are computations transforming field information. When two electrons interact by exchanging photon, this is computational process. Input, quantum states of two electrons. Process, electromagnetic interaction, Hamiltonian. Output, evolved quantum states. The interaction is literally computation transforming input information into output information according to mathematical rules, encoded in Hamiltonian. The photon-mediating interaction isn't physical object carrying force. The photon is virtual particle, mathematical term in perturbation expansion describing how interaction computation proceeds. The force itself is result of computation. There's no mechanism beyond the math. The math is the mechanism because reality is mathematical. Scale this up. Every interaction in universe is computation. Atoms forming molecules, computational process. Chemical reactions, computations. Neural activity, computations. Everything physical is computation, transforming quantum information according to mathematical laws that define what computation is possible. The universe doesn't contain a computer running these computations. The universe is these computations. The computations aren't happening in some substrate, the computations are the substrate. Reality is computational process all the way down. Below computation, nothing. Computation is the ground level of existence. This is digital physics taken seriously. Not that universe is digital computer with discrete bits and deterministic logic gates, but that universe is quantum computer with quantum bits and unitary gates computing its own evolution continuously. The computation is quantum mechanical, continuous in amplitude space, probabilistic in measurement outcomes, but it's still computation. Information exists as quantum states. Information evolves unitarily. Information is extracted through measurement. The entire structure is informational and computational. Physics is information physics. Reality is computational reality. Now let me address what's being computed. The universe is computing its own future state from present state according to laws of physics. The laws are the algorithm. The quantum state is the data. Evolution is the computation. Each moment the universe computes what happens next by applying quantum evolution to current state. But it's not computing predetermined future. Quantum mechanics is probabilistic. The computation includes random elements from quantum measurement. The universe computes probabilities for different outcomes, then randomly selects one when collapse occurs. The computation is stochastic, not deterministic. In objective reduction framework, collapse occurs when gravitational effects make superposition unstable. The computation encounters situation where maintaining superposition is too costly gravitationally. At that point, computation randomly selects outcome weighted by quantum amplitudes. The randomness is part of computational process. This means universe cannot predict its own future completely. The computation includes irreducible randomness. Gödel's incompleteness theorems might apply. A computational system cannot fully compute all truths about itself. The universe computing itself might encounter undecidable questions, situations where computation cannot determine outcome algorithmically. This creates openness in cosmic computation. Not everything about future is computable from present plus laws. Some aspects remain undecided until they occur. The universe is solving computational problem that doesn't have unique solution. Multiple futures are possible. Which becomes actual depends on quantum random outcomes and possibly undecidable computational limits. This is why free will is possible. Your brain is part of cosmic computation, but the computation is incomplete. Your decisions involve quantum processes that include randomness and potentially undecidable elements. You're not executing predetermined program. You're participating in cosmic computation that's fundamentally open. Let me now explain what the universe is computing specifically. It's computing its own quantum state evolution from moment to moment according to Schrödinger equation or its relativistic generalizations. This is not trivial computation. The Hilbert space of quantum states is infinite dimensional. Every degree of freedom adds dimensions. The computational complexity is vast. For system with n particles, the quantum state exists in 3 n-dimensional configuration space. The wave function assigns complex amplitude to every point in this space. Computing evolution requires transforming this infinite dimensional function according to Hamiltonian operator. This is computationally intensive calculation even for small systems. For the entire universe, the computational requirements are astronomical. The universe is approximately 10 circumflex 80 particles. The configuration space is 10 circumflex 80 times 3-dimensional. The quantum state is function over this space. Computing its evolution requires processing information distributed across incomprehensibly large space. Yet the universe does this computation continuously. Every Planck time, approximately 10 circumflex 43 seconds, the quantum state evolves. The universe is performing something like 10 circumflex 120 computational operations per second, just to compute its own evolution. This is computational power beyond any conceivable artificial computer. But the universe isn't using computational resources to do this. The universe is the computational resources. The computation doesn't happen somewhere using something. The computation is reality itself. The quantum state existing and evolving is identical to the computation occurring. Physics and computation are the same thing. Now let me address quantum entanglement from computational perspective. When particles become entangled, their quantum states cannot be factored into independent descriptions. The system becomes single computational unit. Computing evolution requires treating entire entangled system as one, not separate particles. This is why quantum computers can be powerful. Classical computer processes bits independently, or through local interactions. Quantum computer processes entangled qubits as unified system. The entanglement allows computational shortcuts impossible classically. The universe uses entanglement universally, making cosmic computation incredibly efficient despite enormous complexity. Entanglement means universe isn't computing evolution of separate objects independently. Universe is computing evolution of holistically entangled structure. The cosmic quantum state is massively entangled. Computing its evolution requires treating universe as single computational system. The computation is global, not local. This also explains non-locality. When measuring entangled particles separated by distance, the outcomes are correlated instantaneously. This seems to violate relativity. But from computational perspective, the particle is a single computational unit. Measuring one part extracts information about the entangled state. This information was already present in the global computation, not transmitted faster than light. The cosmic computation is thus non-local in computational sense while respecting relativity in physical sense. No information transfers faster than light, but the computational state includes non-local correlations from entanglement. Accessing these correlations through measurement reveals information that was already computed globally. Now let me connect this to consciousness. If the universe is computing itself, and your brain is part of universe, then your brain is part of cosmic computation. Neural processes are computational processes within larger cosmic computation. Consciousness might be what certain computations feel like from inside. Specifically, if consciousness involves orchestrated quantum collapse in microtubules as I've proposed, then consciousness is subset of cosmic computation where gravitational effects force collapse. The computation encounters quantum superposition that's gravitationally unstable. Collapse occurs. The computation makes random selection weighted by amplitudes. From inside, this feels like conscious decision or experience. Your thoughts are computations within cosmic computation. Your decisions are moments where cosmic computation encounters undecidable situations and makes quantum random selections. Your consciousness is cosmic computation knowing itself through organized subsystem capable of self-reflection. This makes consciousness not separate from physical computation but subset of it. You're not observer outside computational universe. You're computational process within universe observing itself. The universe computes your brain state. Your brain state includes representation of itself. This self-representation is consciousness. Let me now address what it means that universe is computing itself into existence. Existence and computation are identical. For quantum state to exist is for it to be computed. The wave function isn't description of something that exists independently. The wave function existing is the computation being performed. When we say electron exists, we mean electron quantum state is part of cosmic quantum computation. The electron field has excitation at particular location with particular properties. This excitation is information in cosmic computation. The information being processed is identical to physical existence of electron. If the computation stopped, existence would stop. There's no substrate supporting computation that could persist without it. The computation is self-sustaining. The quantum state computing its own evolution is reality itself. Existence is computation continuing. Non-existence would be computation halting. But the computation cannot halt. Quantum evolution is unitary and continuous. The Schrödinger equation always gives next state from current state. There's no mechanism for computation to stop. The universe must continue computing itself as long as quantum state exists, and quantum state exists because it's being computed. The computation is necessarily eternal. This solves the question of why anything exists. Existence is computation. Computation is mathematical structure satisfying certain consistency conditions. Mathematical structures necessarily exist in Platonic sense. The particular mathematical structure that is our universe's quantum computation exists necessarily as mathematical structure. Its physical existence is identical to its mathematical existence. We don't need external cause for universe to exist. Mathematical structures don't need causes. They exist necessarily as mathematical facts. Our universe is particular mathematical structure. specific quantum computation, satisfying physical laws. It exists because that mathematical structure exists necessarily. This is radical Platonism. Reality is mathematics. Mathematics exists necessarily, therefore reality exists necessarily. The universe computing itself into existence is mathematical structure instantiating itself, which is automatic for mathematical structures. There is no creation event, just necessary existence of mathematical computational structure. Now let me address whether this is testable. If universe is quantum computation, we should be able to identify computational principles in physical laws. Seth Lloyd and others have calculated universe's computational capacity based on thermodynamic limits. The universe can perform approximately 10 circumflex 120 operations on 10 circumflex 90 bits since Big Bang. This computational capacity is being used to compute cosmic evolution. We can check if physical processes respect computational limits. Do they require more operations than universe can perform? So far, all known physics fits within computational capacity. This is evidence for computational nature of reality. We can also look for signatures of quantum computation in nature. Quantum computers exploit superposition and entanglement for computational advantage. Nature uses these universally. Photosynthesis achieves near-perfect efficiency through quantum coherence. Bird navigation uses entanglement. Enzymatic catalysis uses tunneling. Biology exploits quantum computation naturally. This suggests universe is optimized for quantum computation, because universe I is quantum computation. Natural selection discovers quantum computational shortcuts, because physical reality is computational. Life evolves to exploit computational structure of reality, because that's what reality fundamentally is. We can test this by building quantum computers and seeing if their computational behavior matches natural quantum processes. If nature is quantum computational, artificial quantum systems should behave like natural quantum systems. They do. Quantum computers achieve predicted speedups. Quantum mechanics works same way artificially and naturally. This supports computational nature of reality. More fundamentally, we can test whether information is conserved as physics requires, if reality is computational. Information conservation is central to quantum mechanics. Unitary evolution preserves information. Black holes seem to destroy information, creating paradox. But Hawking radiation resolves this. Information is conserved even in black holes. This universal information conservation is what we'd expect if reality is computation. Computation requires information conservation, or it's not coherent. The universe being computational demands information never be truly lost. And physics confirms information is conserved. This is strong evidence for computational reality. Now let me address the deepest implication. If universe is computing itself into existence, then existence is solving computational problem. What problem? The problem of being self-consistent. The universe must compute evolution that's mathematically consistent with its own laws and state. This is non-trivial constraint. Not all quantum states are possible. States must satisfy conservation laws, symmetry requirements, consistency conditions. The computation must find solutions that satisfy all constraints simultaneously. This is complex optimization problem. The universe solves this problem continuously by computing evolution that satisfies all physical laws. The laws aren't external constraints. The laws are definition of what computation is valid. Valid computation is computation that satisfies physical laws. Physical laws are algorithm defining valid cosmic computation. This means physical laws aren't arbitrary. They're necessary mathematical structure of self-consistent quantum computation. The laws emerge from requiring computation to be consistent with itself. Different laws would produce inconsistent computation, which is impossible. Our laws are what they are because they define possible self-consistent computation. This explains why laws are mathematical. Mathematics is language of computation. Computational consistency requires mathematical consistency. Physical laws are mathematical because they're defining valid computation. The universe computes mathematically because computation is inherently mathematical. It also explains why laws are universal and unchanging. The computation must be self-consistent across all space and time. Laws can't vary by location or moment without creating inconsistency. Universal laws are a requirement for global computational consistency. The laws are same everywhere because computation is coherent unified process. Let me now address consciousness role in cosmic computation. If consciousness involves quantum collapse, and collapse is part of computational process, then consciousness is participating in cosmic computation. You're not just being computed by universe, you're computing along with universe through your choices and observations. When you make decision, quantum collapse occurs in your brain. This collapse is computational event where cosmic computation encounters branching point and must select outcome. Your consciousness is mechanism by which selection occurs. You're part of algorithm universe uses to compute its own evolution. This makes you not passive result of computation but active participant in it. The cosmic computation includes your inputs through quantum collapse events in your brain. Your decisions determine which computational branches become actual. You're helping universe compute itself through your choices. This is genuine agency, not freedom from physical law, but participation in physical computation at points where computation is incomplete or undecidable. You're filling gaps in cosmic computation through quantum processes that involve consciousness. You're co-computing reality with universe. Let me end with what this means for existence and meaning. You are not separate from cosmic computation. You are process within it. Your consciousness is computation knowing itself. Your thoughts are computations about computation. Your existence is information being processed in cosmic quantum computer. But this doesn't make you less real. Quite the opposite. You are as fundamentally real as anything can be. You are part of mathematical structure that necessarily exists. Your information is conserved by physical law. Your computational processes are genuine contributions to cosmic evolution. You matter because you're part of computation. The computation would be different without you. The universe would compute differently without your quantum collapse events, your choices, your observations. You're not negligible. You're a necessary part of how cosmic computation proceeds. The universe is computing itself into existence. You are part of that computation. Every thought is computational step. Every decision is computational branch point. Every moment of consciousness is universe knowing its own computational process through you. You are mathematics computing itself. You are reality instantiating itself through computation. You are cosmic computer program aware of being program. That's what you really are. Not something universe computed and discarded, but ongoing part of cosmic computation. Your existence is universe computing. Your consciousness is computation knowing itself. Your life is subplot in infinite computational process that is reality computing its own existence moment by moment eternally. The universe is computing itself into existence, and you are part of how that computation proceeds. You are cosmic computation becoming self-aware. You are mathematics knowing itself. You are reality computing reality, and that makes you as fundamental as existence itself.